Hello everyone and welcome back to the Devlog for Real Communism, my city builder game. This week was another week of small progress, but progress nonetheless. Before we hop into it, please subscribe to the channel if you'd like to keep up with the progress of this game, and if you like the video, don't be scared to let me know by hitting the like button down below. You can also help by wishlisting the game on Steam. I still can't post links to YouTube yet, so you'll have to search for it for now. Now let's take a look at this past week's progress. I started this week off by updating building placement. The system I had in place was very basic and frankly counterintuitive to how most city builders operate, wherein the player clicks a spot on the ground, then chooses what to build. And now it's more traditional where you can pull up the build menu and then you can select the building to build and then you can determine the placement. And that's complete with a hologram of whatever building that was chosen. The next task that I tackled was adding the ability to rename buildings. It's a small change, but it adds a layer of customization to the game. It will also make it to where buildings are more easily distinguished from one another, and this will be especially helpful when the player is creating routes. After those more program-oriented tasks, I wanted to switch it up a little bit, so I made the model for all 5 stages of potatoes. Like corn and wheat, it can be grown at the farm, and it will take, as of now, 5 in-game days to do so. This number is still arbitrarily set and won't be fully determined until I get to the balancing portion of the process. Potatoes make the 3rd growable crop at the farm and make the 5th harvestable food item in the game. The goal is to have a minimum of 20 harvestable food items, which will all have multiple uses in-game through recipes, which I have yet to work on, but it is in the near future. There's still a lot of work to do in this department, but the potatoes mark one more step in that direction. Up next was a new building, the Creary. The Creary will be used to turn milk into various products like cheese and butter. I started on some of the functionality like assigning workers to the building, but I haven't gotten around to actually making the milk into other products yet. That should be one of the first tasks that I tackle next week. I wanted to at least show the model. It's similar to the mill, but it's a bit shorter. I changed the color and added a 3rd window, and I made it to where there are 3 smaller tanks instead of just one large silo that the mill has. And now I've got a warning to all married developers. Apparently, if you rebuild the stairs to your porch, your wife will add to your honey-do list to replace all of the deck boards on that porch as well. So that's where my Saturday went. A couple of the older girls wanted to help out about a quarter of the way through, and they made it to about the halfway point. Then the little ones helped out in their own way. But by the end of the day, it was finished. Definitely a smaller week in terms of progress, but I got done what I could. Getting the building placement changed and adding the ability to change the names of the building were big quality of life updates that I've been looking to do for a while, so I'm glad I finally got around to doing that. Another crop and another building have been added to the game as well, so we're inching towards having a diversity of objects in the game. Next week I've got a shorter week at work, but Thursday is Thanksgiving in the US, so I imagine I'll be spending at least a couple of days with families during those days off. But I'm hoping to get at least one solid 8 to 12 hour day of development in somewhere in there. Please check out the Steam page if you haven't already, and feel free to wishlist it. That's really the best way you can help me out. It lets me know that people are actually interested in this project that I'm working on. And if you want to keep up with the development progress of the game, please subscribe to the channel. If you want smaller, more frequent updates, you can follow me on X/Twitter at HaydenMarlowe_ or on TikTok at Marlowe Development. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.